topic is sum of vector A and B. Sum of vector A. Let me consider vector A as A1i, A2j, A3k cap. Unit vectors. Next, let me consider B. So B1i, B2j plus B3k. What is the meaning of vector addition? Vector addition means, guys, vector addition means here vector A plus vector B will be given by, we should add the coefficients of I cap. We should add the coefficients of Z cap, J cap. So coefficient of this one is A1 plus B1, A1 plus B1 into I cap plus A2, A1, B1, it is over. A2 plus B2, A2 plus B2, A2 plus B2 into J cap. A3 plus B3 into K cap. Next, this is about addition. Let me consider subtraction of vector. Subtraction of the vector also, vector A and B can be written as A and B. Same I will take A, B if I want to change. Okay. Subtraction of the vector. If you look at the subtraction of the vector, here nothing. You are going to add here, you are going to subtract here. That's all. So vector A minus vector B is equal to. So what can be done? So A1 minus B1 into I cap plus A2 minus B2 into J cap plus A3 minus B3 into if third point, if lambda is any scalar quantity, then we shall come to know how we can multiply that. Lambda A can be written as lambda into A, lambda into vector A can be written as lambda into I1j, I1 A1 I cap plus, see, are you understanding? I1 A1 I cap plus B1 J cap plus C1 K cap. See, this also can be written like this. Lambda, you can take it inside. Lambda A1 into I. Lambda A1 into I cap plus lambda B1 into J cap. Lambda C1 into K cap. Like this we can. Point number 4. Point number 4 it says we shall see. Vector A and vector B are equal when if and only if and double F we can write if and only if and only if single F we can write double F we can. Okay, if and only if conditional given. When can you say that two vectors are like this? If and only if I consider A1 vector A1 I plus B2 J plus C2 K. Okay. Next vector B B1 I B2 sorry A1 A2 B1 no A1 B2. We should consider as a A1 A2 A3 A1 A2 A3 B1 B2 next is B B3 into. Now, when can we say those two are equal? Very important. How to say if and only if A1 should be equal to B1, comma, A2 should be equal to B2, comma, A3 should be equal to B3. That means coefficient of unit vector. If the coefficient of unit vectors are same, then we can call that as a equal vectors. Point number. How we can write if that is multiplied term? We should consider term k into, if it is like this, k into a vector b is then we consider. How can we write this? We can write that as k into vector a plus k into vector b. That is monomial into binomial multiplication is okay with this concept. Okay, let us consider if there are two terms constant, two constants. So vector, this is vector, these two are scalar. How can I multiply? See here, k into a vector plus m into a vector we can multiply. Clear to you? M into a vector we can multiply. I think you are following these words. Now, one more thing. K into m into a vector was there. You can consider. So this you can multiply like this also. Km into a vector also you can. That means first you can multiply vector. First you can multiply scalar and vector. Then you can multiply with scalar. Otherwise, multiply two scalars. Then you multiply with vector. These two also one of the possible cases. These are all the 5 important notes what you should be knowing here. The point which lies on the same line is called collinear, we call, correct? But in this concept it is different. See, for example, I consider vector A and vector C. I consider. This is a little bit big. I consider this is C. See, you can say that vector A, for example, this is 1 centimeter. This is 2 centimeter. You consider. I can say that vector A is 2 times the vector A is vector C. Will you agree? Otherwise, vector C is equal to 2 times the vector A. Is it clear to you, dear students? Look at here. Vector A, 2 times the vector A is vector C. Right? Now, here it is written like C is written like this is some constant, right? This we shall consider as lambda. See, C is written like lambda into vector A, some constant into vector A. Next we shall go for one more. B we shall go. This is angle, this is A vector. This is in the opposite direction. I'll consider this is 1 centimeter, this should be 3 centimeter, 1, 2, 3. But this is our vector B. See here, vector B is 3 times the vector A. But which direction? It is in opposite direction, whatever it may be. So this will become lambda. What it will become? This is lambda. That means B is equal to lambda A. If any two vectors can be written as lambda into, if one vector is related to one more vector with lambda, then that is called by the name collinear vectors. So, side division, take it as a collinear vectors. So, 6th point consider as collinear. Here only you understand very clearly. It is very simple also. Okay. So, two vectors A, B are collinear if and only if two vectors A and B are collinear. If and only if, take down guys, if and only if B is equal to, there exists a non-zero scalar, and only if there should be existence of, there exists non-zero scalar, it should not be 0. non-zero scalar, that we will call it as a lambda, non-zero scalar lambda, such that how it should be, such that B is equal to lambda A, vector A is equal to lambda times the vector B. Is it clear to you? When can we say two vectors are collinear? Two vectors A and B are collinear if and only if there exists non-zero scalar, that is lambda. So such that how it should be, B is equal to lambda into A. I hope this is clear to you. If I want to continue in that only, let us take two examples. Okay. So we shall consider two vectors. Down of that only you write, guys. Don't write something newly, don't write. So vectors we shall consider. Okay. What can be written here? Let, how can you write? You should see let A1 I A2 J A3 K. We should consider. Next, okay, we write lambda. You should come to the right. For that I am telling you. Next, P. If I go observe properly. Later, don't tell I'm not understanding. Have to listen class carefully. So B1 I cap, B2 J cap, B3 this much. Now, anyhow, we know that if two vectors are collinear, when vectors are collinear, if and only if, double if, right? Double if can be written as if and only if A is equal to lambda B, otherwise B is equal to lambda A. Anyway, we get this condition now. Let me write whatever the values of the B. What is the value of the B? That means I can write this as B1I, okay, this is equal B1I plus B2 J cap, B3 K cap is equal to lambda times the A1 I cap plus A2 J cap, A3 K cap. A3. Now we shall multiply inside this one. What we shall do? We shall multiply inside of this. That is equal to what happens? B1I cap, B2 J cap, B3 K cap. I consider here small change. Lambda A1 into I cap, lambda A2 into J cap, lambda A3 into. Now in this, we shall compare these two. I'm marking you double underline, triple underline, marking you triple underline. Observe here. I can write this as B1 is equal to lambda A1, B1 is equal to lambda A1, B2 is equal to lambda A2, B3 is equal to lambda A3. I can write. This I can come to know. B1 by A1 is equal to lambda. Okay. B2 by A2 should be equal to lambda. B3 by C3 should be equal to lambda. Therefore, B1 by A1 is equal to B2 by A2 is equal to B3 by C3 is equal to lambda. Clear? That is A3. Okay. If you are telling some if vector A is then A1, A2, A3 are called direct ratios of A. Direct ratios of A. Problems are very simple, guys. Ratios of A. Direct ratios of vector. If L, M, N R. You can write like this, guys. If L M N R directed cosines of a vector are directed cosines of a, this already we have written, okay. Once again we are writing. If L and M N are directed cosines of a vector, then Li Mj Nk Li Mj Nk will be equal to cos I will be equal to cos I, cos alpha I, cos beta j, cos gamma. Is it visible? Cos last one is cos gamma k. Cos gamma k vector. Cos gamma k vector is the unit vector in the direction of that vector. This is a unit vector, it is the unit vector in the direction of, last note this is, next we shall go to problems, in the direction of oh yeah, see, very simple, guys. If L and M are the directed cosines, if L and M and N are the directed cosines of a vector, then this will be a unit vector. What will be a unit vector? Li Mj Nk is equal to cos alpha I plus cos beta j plus cos gamma k will be a unit vector in the direction of the vector k. This is about the almost all concepts about your vector algebra.